Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs may have won their second consecutive national championship earlier this week, but they are still out recruiting. Friday was the first day of the contact period, and the Georgia staff was out in force. They saw 100 schools on Friday. 10 coaches saw 10 different schools. That's what you do. That's how you win championships. Kirby Smart and his staff are the best of the best in college football at recruiting. They have a staff full of just ace recruiters, and I think they're going to end up with the #1 recruiting class in 2024. We've got all year to talk about that, but I want to talk about what they did on Friday. Let's talk about Kirby Smart first. Using the Kirby copter, flying around the Peach State. His first stop on Friday was to Jefferson, home of 5-star linebacker Sammy Brown. Second stop was Gainesville High School, one of the top up-and-coming programs in the state. Played for, I believe it was the 6A title. Came just short, but loaded program right now. Third stop, Mill Creek, 7A champs. Kirby's right back out there, seeing what that kind of talent they have coming up. Greene County was stop number 4. Baldwin County, or not county, but Baldwin High School in Milledgeville was stop number 5. Jones County, starting to go down in middle Georgia here. Jones County, home of speedy track star wide receiver Zion Reagans. That was stop number 6. Number 7, Peach County. And then his final stop of the day so far, number 8 was Houston County. So he's got 2 trips. He's probably already been there by now by the time I'm making this. But so far, I've counted 8 stops for Kirby Smart on Friday in the helicopter. Todd Hartley was in South Georgia, the best tight ends coach in college football. The guy does not miss on the recruiting show. Just doesn't happen. He gets everyone he wants. Not sure where he started, but he did hit Clinch County. They've got a sophomore 5-star edge tight end, Ellis Williams, who I do think is going to be a 5-star in that 25 class. Stopped by Lowndes. Adam Carter, who coached at Grayson the last couple of years. He's the new head coach at Lowndes. Big time deal. He stopped at Colquitt County. Of course, he's got Landon Thomas committed, high 4-star tight end down there with the Packers in the 24 class. Stopped by Ware County. They won 5A state title. Was 4 or 5. A lot of it kind of gets confused. I didn't go to Georgia. I'm not the smartest guy, but he did stop by Ware County today to check on the Gators. Stopped by Valdosta High School. He was also by Wayne County, Charlton County, Camden County, and Brunswick. Actually, Ellis Williams is at Charlton County, not Clinch County. He's at Charlton County. Misspoke about 30 seconds ago there. So Todd Hartley's been all over the place. He was in South Georgia. Glenn Schumann in Middle Georgia. Stopped by Crisp County, home of former one of his linebackers, Coy Walker. Tift County, Sly County, home to 2 big-time prospects, Jalewis Solomon in the 24 class. They like him at wide receiver. And then Zayden Walker, who I think is the best player in the state in the 25 class. #1 sophomore in Georgia in my eyes. He plays at Sly County. Georgia would love to add him. That's the guy that Glenn Schumann has circled on his list for that 25 class. Coach Drebe, Coach Chid, how they call him, outside linebackers coach. He was at Buford and Mill Creek today. Buford is absolutely loaded with kids, multiple 5-stars in that 24 class. I think Georgia's going to do really well at Buford with some of the superstars that they have there. Brian McClendon was at Colquitt County. Not exactly sure where he went, but I know he stopped by Colquitt County. He's got a wide receiver there, Nye Carr, that he has committed in the 24 class. Stacy Searles, offensive line coach, was in North Georgia. I know he stopped by Chattooga High School and Tryon High School. Trey Scott stopped by West Hall High School. Del McGee was in the Atlanta area. He checked out Pebblebrook, home to Dwight Phillips Jr., a guy that they are recruiting at running back in the 24 class. One of the fastest players in the country. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on. He also stopped by Mays High School. No one there going to Georgia. Carver, Atlanta, and Tri-Cities. No one there going to Georgia. But that's what you do. You stop in, you meet face-to-face with the staff, guys that they've known for a long time. It's just what they do. And we've got more coverage on this over on Dog Post. At this time, right now, at 3:42 on Friday, I think coaches are still making their last rounds before they head back home to Athens. They've got a big celebration tomorrow on Saturday, which is when this video is coming out. So you're watching this on Saturday. Everything I'm talking about happened yesterday on Friday, but how many other staffs are doing this? How many other college football staffs hit 100 schools on Friday to check in on their players? None of them. None of them. That's why this group, this program, this team, this staff has won 2 straight national championships, because they're going out and they're doing this. It starts on the recruiting trail. I know firsthand because I cover recruiting. I talk to these high school coaches. They tell me, man, Georgia's come by a lot. Auburn, maybe not so much. Tennessee here and there. But, Georgia's going after it. And I say all the time, if they like a kid in Texas or California or North Carolina better than a kid in Gwinnett County or Oconee County or South Georgia, wherever, they're going to go get their guy from Texas or New Jersey, California, Arizona, wherever. But you have to lock down the state when you want to and get your in-state guys that you think you need to have. Guys like Trayvon Walker, Nolan Smith, Roquan Smith, right? All these guys who have come through the state, Michael Williams, Malachi Starks. You don't have to lock down the state necessarily, but it's important to get your guys in state. If, you can't let a guy that you like go out of state if you want him. That can't happen anymore, and it's not happening. Rarely do you see Georgia go after an in-state kid and not get them nowadays, unless the kid sees an NIL deal somewhere else that he really likes and can benefit from, or early playing time. Even though Georgia's playing a lot of young guys. We saw freshmen all over the place against TCU. But when you have the head coach flying around a helicopter, it makes an impact. And he's seeing school after school after school. And these coaches, I'm telling you, they love Kirby. They think he's the hardest working head coach in college football. And he is. They won the national championship on Monday, on Friday, the very first day of the contact period. They're going out and doing this. They could have done this next week. They didn't have to do it the very first day that the open period starts, contact period, excuse me. They could have done this on Monday, Tuesday, but no. First day they're allowed to go and stop by schools and check on players. They're doing it. And they saw 100 kids in the state of Georgia. It's crazy. They weren't even doing this last year, 2 years ago. No one's doing it like Georgia. They have the best staff for a reason. They're the best team on the field, and they have the best staff on the recruiting trail. I've said it over and over and over. And days like this are why. They have the facilities, right? They have the money to fly all around the state in a helicopter. It's not just one. It's not just Kirby flying around in a helicopter. Todd Hartley, Glenn Schumann, they're seeing their guys in helicopters. They're all over the place. Kirby, again, was in the, kind of the Athens area, Gainesville, moved down to Middle Georgia. Todd Hartley was strictly South Georgia. I think he started in the Valdosta, Lowndes area and moved towards the Brunswick area. Trey Scott doing his thing. Still trying to figure out exactly where he went, but Glenn Schumann, Middle Georgia to South Georgia. Again, Del McGee sticking in Atlanta. Stacey Searles in North Georgia. So they've got the resources. They're flying around seeing the guys that they need to see. But man, this is a special group, and they're working hard. It's not easy to work for Kirby Smart because he's going to have you out there recruiting. You better see your family in March and in May, right before spring practice starts and right after, because in January you're out recruiting, and February you're trying to close and finish your recruiting class, and then spring ball is coming around right before you know it. Spring game in April, and then after that the coaches get a little break, and then the summer hits, and that's when you host kids on campus and you evaluate and you send out offers. And last year June was the time when they were able to get guys on campus and really focus on who they wanted to land, not only in the 23 class but in the 24 class. So the summer is huge, a lot going on in June. They're going to get a bunch of commitments in June and July like they always do. Kids love to make their commitment in the summer, get it out of the way before their senior season. So there are a lot of times throughout the year where these guys can kind of stay home and, be a husband and father. Because on days like this, even though they just won the national championship, they're out recruiting and they're trying to get better and better and better. So, we've got a lot of stories on guys hitting the transfer portal, guys leaving for the NFL. There's a lot going on right now, and the Georgia staff is flying around the Peach State, checking in on top targets, seeing coaches that they've known for years face to face again. It's a big deal, and they're walking around as two-time national champions, and they're doing it the right way. You have to work this hard if you want to win a national championship. I don't know what Nick Saban and his staff are doing today. I don't think they're seeing 100 schools in the state of Alabama. The Georgia staff will hit Alabama probably next week and the rest of the country, but today it was all about the Peach State. 100 schools, 10 coaches. They got it done. I keep saying today. Y'all are watching this on Saturday. But Friday was crazy. We had so much content on Friday. Make sure you're going to check it out. So much going on Dog Post. My fingers are hurting. They're sore. I'm writing so many stories. But I had to talk about what this Georgia staff is doing. Hardest working crew in college football, and they're showing it. They showed it yesterday, Friday. I appreciate y'all watching this video. As always, head on over to Dog Post to read everything I'm talking about and more. See you over on the website.